How you doing, folks? So, want to review a film from my childhood. One I came across on the HBO channel a few times, or when times were strict and I was unable to watch slasher films, which saved me, by the way, I might add. I came across these films and the channels were unlocked. We'd move into a new house and they'd forget to lock the channels, so I'd come across them. House of Wax was one of them. A atmospheric thrill ride. A fun time. So fucking fun, this movie. With Chad Michael Murray, John Abrams, who was recently at a Terrifier convention, and Day of the Dead, I believe. You also got Paris Hilton in there. Alicia Cuthbert, the girl next door. A lot to be said about the talent regarding this film. It's old. It's aged well, though, because I feel like, when I still watch it, the kills, the atmosphere, the dialogue between the characters, it stands out. So, the plastic left on it. The brother-sister dynamic between Chad Michael Murray and Alicia Cuthbert. I always mix her up with Eliza Dushku from Buffy. I always mix her up, so forgive me. A really memorable slasher film. A very likable quality with the actors and how they interact with each other. For instance, Elijah, not Elijah Dushku, from fucking Wrong Turn. No, Alicia Cuthbert does not get along very well with her brother, played by Chad Michael Murray. From Freaky Friday, One Tree Hill, other stuff. Talented actor, still. Apparently he lives in upstate New York. I guess Chad Michael Murray lives in upstate New York, where I live. So, hey, Chad, if you're watching, I love you. It's fun to know. But yeah, there's a brother-sister dynamic where there is hatred. He's what he calls the evil twin. She's the good twin. And they're battling Vincent and his brother, who are also evil twins. Well, it's complicated. One's a wax maker guy, Vincent. One's a gas station attendant. Yeah, I mean, that's his only talent. Gas station fucking attendant. I don't know what else to fucking call it, so. But yeah, no, the movie bursts with atmosphere, and the characters and their dialogue with each other make it memorable and watchable, and I love it every time I watch it. I love it every time I watch it. So people say the only good reason to watch it is Paris Hilton's death, but yeah, I mean, she had a great death, you know, a fucking spear thrown through a fucking window and impaling her head. Yeah, okay, it's a good death, but there's more to it. Like, you know what? You have to give some respect to Paris Hilton for wanting to be in the slasher film to begin with, because she was an MTV. She was an MTV girl, and she was kind of preppy at the time. You know, you wouldn't think that she would go out of her way to be in a slasher film, but she was, and she pulled it off well. Her acting was okay with me. It was believable. She dates a guy, which I believe is Brian Van Holt. If I'm not mistaken. Well, she dates a football player. Not a football player, sorry. Bleh. She's with a guy, and he's your typical character who likes football, but their car has problems, and because they're going to a game, so they can't get to the game, and you know, someone messed up the fucking fan belt on Jared Padalecki, his car, which he's got like a really nice fucking car. I think it's like the one from Supernatural, as it is. I mean, I think it's like the same one. I'm pretty sure. It was a pretty nice car. I don't remember what kind it was. But yeah, Jared Padalecki is dating Alicia Cuthbert, who is the sister of Chad Michael Murray. And you know Chad Michael Murray, he plays a smartass, kind of a instigator, troublemaker. You know, he'll give her boyfriend shit. Like, he throws a football at him. Sorry. He throws a football at him, and you could tell that Chad Michael Murray is one of those characters who he feels like he failed himself in a way. Like he failed himself. He dropped out of high school. He joined the football team, but then he dropped off the football team because he had a scholarship. He has a good arm. Jared Padalecki says, nice arm, that's why they gave you the scholarship. After he throws the football at him during a heated moment, one might say. But yeah, no, the characters interact with each other in a very natural fashion, and the slasher Vincent makes like wax figures out of shit. Like, he'll make the whole house is made of wax. Their childhood home. It's actually 3 brothers. We find out in the end there's 3. Originally there's 2, Vincent and the one at the gas station. Who's the one at the gas station? Let me see here. I do apologize. Yeah, no, this is Dark Castle Entertainment. You know, the ones who also made House on a Haunted Hill, Gothica, things like that. Also fun films. But yeah, my phone is dead. My phone's dead right now, or I'd look it up, but I don't want to click out of this, but yeah, it's Vincent and his brother. Either way, Vincent is by far the most memorable brother who makes wax sculptures. And in the beginning, we see the brothers and how they're treated differently from one another. Like, one's sitting in a high chair, and while the one sitting in the high chair is actually treated worse, the one sitting at the table is treated better, I believe, from my recollection. I believe so. And we see the older brother getting patted on the back and shit. Sort of the older evil twin, you know. And the younger brother, Vincent, he's tied to the chair. He's taped to it. The parents smack him. They're mean to him. They're not as nice to him, really. They're rougher on him. Vincent scratches her hand. We see a little skin come off. She slaps him. Then it jumps to Deftones, Minerva. And that's another thing about this film, is it has a great soundtrack. The soundtrack I can give a lot of credit to. Like, there is Disturbed, Prayer, Deftones, Minerva. At the end we have Helena from My Chemical Romance. So there's fun things in there that are very nostalgic and entertaining. The soundtrack is very fun. It's very teenage. Again, this is a very good, well done, modern, maybe not modern anymore, but like, you know, when I was 19 this was fun, but you know, a good slasher. With the way he kills people off. Jared Padalecki gets turned into a fucking wax fucking statue. I mean, it's disturbing the way it's done too. Like, Vincent, he's got this spray sort of system where he'll spray people first, coat them with this stuff, wax, obviously, and you know, it's just really disturbing the way that it's done. It was disturbing to see the way Jared Padalecki went, you know, and he went down. I like that character. I felt bad for that character, so I hate the way he goes down. I do. So Alicia Cuthbert, she is a good final girl. She fights back. Her brother kicks ass with her. Not a whole lot of praise this movie has gotten. Like, you don't hear about it much. Nobody talks about it. It deserves more recognition. It does. And the original, I know there was an original. I know this is a remake. Okay, if you want to call it a fucking remake, okay. Like, there was House of Wax in the 50s with Vincent Price, who I do like. Good horror actor. But to me, they're two different films. You can't compare. People say this is a remake of that. Sorry, but you're wrong. This is not the same movie. They're two completely different fucking movies. I'm not going to compare them. I'm not going to do that. This is different from that. They have the same name. So what? They're different stories. They're different movies. It's a whole different fucking potato. Whatever you want to call it. This is different from that. So stop comparing them. People say, oh, I like the Vincent Price one more. It's more deep. It's a better story. Oh, well, you know what? They're two fucking different movies. One's a slasher film. Remember that. I don't want to get angry here, but this is a much different story, I feel like. Jared Padalecki, I feel like this might have been before Supernatural, so this got him his fame, and before that he was in things like One Tree Hill, and not Gossip Girls. Is it Gossip Girls? It might have been that. He was in other shows, but yeah, no, Dark Castle Entertainment, they've done Ghost Ship, Gothica, House on a Haunted Hill. They do good movies, they do. Though I wasn't a big fan of Ghost Ship. That's just my personal opinion, but I didn't really like it. It was okay. And this, I have a fun time. It's like there's kids in the woods. It just feels like an old school 80s slasher vibe, where there's a killer out there and they have to survive. There's a town that went to hell and there's nobody in it. It's deserted. It's dead. All the fucking people are made of wax. And that's where, to me, the genius part comes in, where everyone's made of wax. They'll go into a church, we'll see, and there's people sitting in the seats, and they're made of wax, but they're reacting. They're like it's a funeral, and they're like, oh, and like you could see the reaction, like they're sad. They're all waxed into a reaction, which is kind of genius, and well done, and it was believable when I first saw it. Chad Michael Murray kicking ass with a fucking crossbow, fighting for his little sister, fighting Vincent. He's a tough kid. This character, Nick, who is a troublemaker, but is in a way redeeming himself, protecting his sister, doing right. It's kind of like that, like where he is redeeming himself from a troublemaking teenager to a badass with a crossbow. So And it's very realistic the way that Vincent's brother gets shot with a crossbow, and he's like, it's not cheesy. Like, he's shot with a crossbow, he feels it, it's in his chest. I think you die realistically, but it was done well, where he was throwing up, he was puking, he's pulling it out of his chest. I'm trying to remember the name of the older brother. What was the name of the older fucking brother? It's Vincent and... what the fuck was his name? The gas station attendant. It's like on the tip of my tongue here. I swear, it's like... But yeah, very fun movie. John Abrams gets a good death. Sort of our pizza guy character. Comedic relief. Comedy. Which he sees Jared Padalecki he's waxed up by a piano in the wax house. And he's like, hey man, we were looking for you everywhere. Come on, man. We've been looking for you everywhere. And he taps on him, and the killer's behind him, which is a creepy image. We'll see John Abrams tapping Jared Padalecki on the shoulder, and behind him we'll see Vincent's head go like this. Sort of turn his head. And we think that he's a wax figure, but he's not. And he attacks John Abrams, throwing knives at him and running after him, and he gets him good. Like, he falls down a flight of stairs, and Vincent impales his neck, pulls his body off, which was a nice looking effect. One might call it cheesy, but I have fun. I have fun with it. So this is one of those movies. It's a popcorn movie. So Paris Hilton, whether you like her or not, she does good in the movie. You can give her shit all you want. She does good in this. You have to respect her for wanting to be in a slasher film. For as rich as she was, she didn't have to be in it. She had a choice. She didn't have to be in it. Could have been like, I don't like slasher films. Yeah. But no. She stuck with it. She did it. So she got a paycheck, obviously, but it was like, okay, she's not embarrassed to be in a slasher film. I respect that, okay. She did good. A good death. The fucking spear through the head, impaling her. Really interesting special effects at the end with the wax museum melting while Vincent and his sister are fighting their antagonists. They're fighting Vincent and his brother, played by again, I know this guy. I do know him. He was in if you've watched Man of the House with Tommy Lee Jones, if you've watched that, he's in that. He's the bad guy in that too. I'm sure a lot of other stuff. But yeah, bleh. Alicia Cuthbert does a good job as a final girl, a great final girl. I'd put her up there with Elijah Dushku from Wrong Turn. I would, because she does a phenomenal job here. So Jared Padalecki has a sense of innocence to his character where he doesn't know what's going on, but he cares for his girlfriend, and you feel bad for the guy when he dies. It's like, oh, did he have to die first? Fuck. John Abrams definitely gives off the pizza guy vibes. And you also feel bad for him because he's the comedy of the film. And Chad Michael Murray, a great badass, definitely does a good job as a brother who cares for his sister, but he's also fighting with his sister, and we could all relate to that in some way. So we could all relate to that. So where we fight with family, but in the end they're there for us. So if you like the film, hey, I like it. I mean, again, this has nothing to do with the older film with Vincent Price. For me, do I like that film? Yes. Before you attack me in the comments, I like that film, but it has nothing to do with this. They're two completely different stories, two different films. I've looked it up already, the story of that and this, so it's different. So they both have wax in them. They both, I mean, I don't know how else to put it. You know, they're different. I like them both for different reasons, though. This makes a good slasher film, so it's a fun time, you know, on a rainy day. Turn it on, crank up the volume, order a pizza, you know, kick your shoes off. But yeah, no, I had fun with the movie, quite a bit. It definitely got its respect. It got its respect over the years. People notice it more. There was a time where it was very underrated, though. There was. What else could I say? As typical as you might think it is in the beginning, it definitely picks up in the third act. So do hang in there. Thank you for watching.